sacrificed their lives for us to be here today. I'm gonna start my story November 16. I was just starting my officer course. I finished 8 months of regular service before in the border guard. For those of you who know or don't know, the border guard is a unit who is in charge of all of the sacred places, like the Western Wall, Rachel's Tomb, and all the checkpoints. You can see them mostly in Jerusalem and in those places. I had an amazing service there as an education NCO, and I felt like I truly made a difference with the soldiers I worked with. And so I decided to sign up for more, signed for a year and a half more than my mandatory service as a girl. I signed up for more and went to officer course. When I joined the officer course, it's 3 months of intense training, and you meet people from a lot of different units from the army. And that's the first time I met Erez, Shir and Shira, which I'm going to tell you about today. We went through very, very intense 2.5 months together. We had a very small group, 15 people. And, we had late nights and early mornings. And people you've never met before, and you just met 2.5 months ago, become very, very close friends to you. People you spend every day with. And I truly felt like we were becoming like this little family. And it was a great time. I enjoyed really, as hard as it was, I enjoyed every morning and every late night of my course. 2 weeks before we were supposed to finish and get our pin, as it's called, we're supposed to go on a week in Jerusalem. It's an education week. We learn about Judaism and Israel history, what it's like to be an officer, what it's like to be a leader. A very, very an amazing week. Everybody waited for that week to arrive. It was a Sunday morning. We were all going up on our way to Jerusalem after a weekend at home, which wasn't that common at the course. Everybody brought all their stuff for the next and last 2 weeks of the course. And with all the stuff, my unit decided everybody's going to bring food and we're going to have like a shared breakfast before we're going to start the week. And we arrived at the place and everybody was eating. And I looked around and I saw Shir and Erez talking, and I asked them, do you want to eat anything? And they told me, no, we don't want to eat anything. We can't. It's a fast day. It was Yud B'Tevet. And I asked them, why didn't you say anything before? We planned this and everybody brought food. Why didn't you tell us? We could have postponed it. And they said that they didn't care that they can't eat. They just want us to all be together before we're starting the week. And I said, wow, that's nice. It didn't seem like a big deal at the time. We packed our things up and went on the bus and on our way to the first stop, Armon HaNatziv. We got off the bus at Armon HaNatziv. Anybody who hasn't been, Armon HaNatziv is this amazing viewpoint of all Jerusalem. You can see East Jerusalem and the old city, and you're there and they have tourist groups and classes on field trips and families, and they have a very, very nice park. It's a gorgeous place. We got off the bus, we put our bags at the side, stood together, and we waited for our commander to come and, start the week with us, tell us what's going on. We were waiting there when a terrorist with a truck came and ran my unit over. Erez, Shir, and Shira, who were standing next to me, died at the scene. Sorry. 5 days later, I wake up in the hospital. The truck hit me, just flew all the way to the other side, and broke my ribs, my legs, all that stuff. Had severe injuries, like internal injuries. And, I wake up after 5 days and they tell me that my friends died. This is my condition right now. And that I have 6 months ahead of me of rehabilitation. You hear that? I'm 19 years old. And you're kind of like, okay, where do we start? So I underwent a few surgeries, and 2 weeks after, Era's mom came and visited me, and she told me that she hopes that after I recover, I'm going to go back to the army and finish my course. Sorry, just a sec. And I decided I'm going to do that. I underwent my surgeries, and I went on to do my rehabilitation. After 3 months in a wheelchair, doing physical therapy and hydrotherapy and every kind of therapy possible, I started learning how to walk again. Instead of 6 months, I finished my rehabilitation and was released from the hospital after 3.5 months. And I decided that I'm going to work as hard as I can in order for them to let me go back to the army. And I did. And 8 months after my injury, I went back to the army. I finished the course I didn't get to finish before, and Erez and Shira didn't get to finish, and went on and joined the Air Force as an education NCO. I served near where Erez was supposed to be serving. I had an amazing experience as an officer. Really couldn't ask for better. I finished my service 1 year ago. And today, at this stage, with the coronavirus happening, I've been serving for the last month and a half right now as an officer in the Home Front Command, dealing with the coronavirus. When I finished my service, I was kind of lost. I felt like I still had to finish some of my rehabilitation. I had a lot of loose ends, and that's when I joined Belev Echad for the first time. It was both like physical rehabilitation for me and mental rehabilitation, because a lot of time, both as a girl and and as an officer, you feel like you don't have somebody to talk to who understands you and who understands what you went through, who went through the same stuff. And I just felt like it was a good place for me to do that. It was a safe place for me to do that. I got, involved in the art project and in the surfing project and in a bunch of projects. And now, after a year of involvement, I also started working in Belev Echad for a bit. And I get I get to do and to talk to people like they talk to me, and it's amazing. That's it. I had, my experience in the army, regardless of what I went through, was an amazing one. I felt like I did my best and that I made a difference. And wherever I went, and whenever I told my story, and whenever I did something or talked to my soldiers, Shir and Erez were with me, and their stories were with me, and their sentences and their pictures. And I'm so glad I can be here today to tell you about them and talk to you about them. Um, Thank you for listening. Thank you for mentioning Yom HaZikaron, this day with us. It's truly amazing. Thank you.
Thank you, Aviv, for that. Wow, that was very, very moving. And I must say that we have gratitude. The hard work you've done and the sacrifices you've given for us and for Israel and for the Jewish people is something we're very, very grateful for. And that's why 170 families have joined along with us this evening. Each profile has 1, 2, 3, or 4 viewers who are here to pay gratitude all the way from Johannesburg and South Africa. And I think we may have some international visitors too. So we're very, very grateful and thank you. We'll come back to you. There'll be some Q&A and some questions interaction in a little while. I'm going to unmute Chemi. And I understand that Chemi is based in New York at the moment. Chemi, you are unmuted. I'm handing over to you. We would love to hear your personal story. Share with us light, simcha, and a powerful message. Thank you.
Well, hi everyone. Well, the rabbi say like being simcha tamid, right? Like always been simcha. So no matter what happened, keep your smiling up. First of all, nice to meet you all. Not in personally, but your face and your family behind you say everything. Thank you very much that you're here tonight to hear our stories and our mission. First of all, I would like to say thank you to the rabbi to host this Zoom and also Rabbi Vigler that make everything possible for us. So Yom HaZikaron, the Memorial Day for me, it's a sad day and also it's happy day because without sacrifice, our nation, our people, our brothers, we had no place to go. So I'm really like sorry about our loss, and I lost a lot of friends in the army. But I can tell you that the heroes and they are what united us as a friends and as a family and as a one nation and one Am Israel. My story began at 2011. I was at a unit, it's called Yamas. It's Special Forces. If you saw the TV show Fauda, so it's based on our units. We went to the village like as local Arabs and do what we need to do. So in 2011, they finished to build the train in Jerusalem, and we get information that it's going to be attack on the train. They're going like the terrorists going to put like bombs on the train and to kill everyone that go inside to the train. So at 5 in the morning, we get a call that we have to go to the village to stop them before they're doing that. So we get inside to the village. We get inside to the house. There is a start. We start like, we find a place. Thanks God. There's a big mess in the house. We start shooting each other, and thanks God we save and we neutralize the terrorist. After we neutralize everything inside the house, all the bombs and all the grenades that hide from to put a bomb inside the trains, we went outside, and unfortunately all the village was like up from the noises of the shooting. We started to run to the vehicle, and in the same way we get like everything you can imagine, Molotov cocktails all over, shotguns all fire. It was like a big mess in the village in the same time. You probably heard about the area of Ramallah. It's not really nice to go to visit. In the meantime, I carry on my back a lot of gas, grenade gas and gas and smoke grenade and everything. And I get a shot behind, and the grenades was explode. Thanks God, I always had protection on my back also. All the grenades blow up. I was in the air for a few seconds, and I remember that everything was covered by smoking gas, and I lost like my vision and everything, and I woke up in the hospital. And our mission was totally successful, even though we lose life and we lose like ourselves in the same moment, but we saved thousands of lives. And for me, to sacrifice my life for others and any soldier in Israel and any soldier that serves his country or the Jewish nation all over the world, it's like his honor to sacrifice our life for every Jewish in the world, no matter where. And I woke up in the hospital, and like all the shikkum, all the process of like to take back what you deserve after you lost everything. I met Belev Echad. Belev Echad, it's a group of people that everything they do and everything they want to do, it's to help the wounded soldier. No matter what happened, no matter where you serve, no matter what are you, where you come from. If you served in the army and you get wounded, they will take care of you. So I met Raz and Sharon and Miki and all the good guys that work for Belev Echad in Israel. And those guys assist me to get up on my feet again and to start a new way. And it was helping with everything I need. And then I'm in New York, as you know, today, and you probably ask why I'm in New York. So Sharon and Raz come to me and ask me, Hemi, what is your dream? So I tell them that, guys, I feel like every morning I wake up after what I've been through, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do anything. I feel like I want to stay home and just to cry about what happened, even though it feels like sad, but it really doesn't want to do anything. So Sharon and Rad think about something, and then I come with a solution. I tell them that, okay, I will go to somewhere else to start a new page in my life. My asking from Sharon and Raz and Rabbi Vigler was to move to the States, to start a new page, to go within the first delegation that I can, and to see if I can try a new path in my life. And without any question, without any, like in a second, they helped me with everything, with the visa, with the place to live, with everything you can wish for. And thanks God, I'm getting engaged with one of the people that host the groups here in New York, one of the donate, and I'm really happy for that.
One of the donors.
What?
One of the donors.
Yeah. And well, look, it's a huge thing for me. Everything changed. I'm happy again. I can do everything again. And all of you need to know that Belev Echad is not a group of people that just come to help. They here to support, to take care, and to move forward with everyone. And this is the blessing that all of the people that work with Belev Echad, it's just a beautiful organization. It's just a beautiful time for me and for others. You can hear like 1,000 stories about like how many lives they save. As the rabbi said, this is our way, and we will be always in simcha. Thank you.
Wow. Mashahu, what a story. What a story. So I know that on a recent delegation or recent project that Belev Echad were involved in, Belev Echad sent, I think, the two of you or some other representatives to campuses, university campuses around America, around New York, around America, to interact with students on campus, both Jewish and non-Jewish, sharing the story and your journey. I've unmuted you both. Maybe we can start with Aviv and then we'll come back to Chemi. Were you both part of this program, and how was that experience going to American campuses?
I was part of this program. Just after I finished my army service, I was looking like, what do I want to do? Like, what do I want to study? Suddenly you have to make those like grown-up decisions. And they asked me if I want to come and do a campus tour. And one of my friends did that before, and he told me it was an amazing experience, and I decided to also go and try it. I can tell you truly, it was amazing. You know, you go to like those very different places, very different colleges, and you meet the Jewish community in those places. I won't say it was easy. First of all, you have to tell your story every day. But I felt, first of all, everybody who came there, you know, really wanted to hear, really wanted to support. It was amazing to see like youth showing so much interest in us as a country, in us as an army. So it was very, very moving. On the other hand, it was, you know, it was a bit hard. There were some protests, anti-Israel protests, BDS, stuff like that. Stuff like I was not expecting to see. And, you know, when, you know, in Israel, we don't have that. Like everybody here is Jewish, but like, you know, for us, everybody's always telling us like, thank you for your service and thank you for how hard you're working to keep us safe. But I felt at that moment that they're also working hard to keep us safe. You know, they have a different role. They're standing there and sometimes getting a lot of backlash or like anti-Semitism, and they're dealing with that over there, which is not, you know, which is not easy at all. And I felt like them standing for Israel and standing for the IDF was amazing and courageous. And I was, you know, it was very moving for me to see that. Yeah.
Chemi, were you also on that program, the college program?
Well, I was supposed to go like before the coronavirus started, but as the coronavirus started, so I didn't go. But I know exactly what you're talking about, guys. Unfortunately, a lot of my friends right now study here in the States, and a lot of people told me that they had bad experience at the BDS movement. They're doing a lot of terrorized in the schools. I can hear that from my fiance brothers and sister that start like school somewhere. I can hear it from my friends over here in the Jewish community here. I see here like there's a lot of anti-Semitite all over the place right now, unfortunately, but we will do everything we can to fight against them and to be strong they are. And we will do everything we can. I will hope to go soon as possible after the COVID-19 will pass, and then we will see.
Okay, very good. I think that Chemi, by mentioning the name Fauda and your unit, you've made everyone here very, very curious about the work you've been up to in the past, which I'm sure has mixed memories. On the one hand, defending the land. On the other hand, I'm sure it wasn't pleasant and quite traumatizing in a way in many, many times, in many instances. But the truth is that while Fauda makes it that the special forces is the, you know, the Rambos of Israel, really every IDF soldier is a protector of Israel and makes sure that our country and our land are safe. And what I wanted to do tonight is we have our Chazan of our Bet Knesset, of our shul, with us here this evening. I know Aviv met him because New York, Belev Echad in New York hosted a similar program for Yom HaZikaron last week, and Chazan Yudi was on the program with Aviv. We now have Yudi here tonight, and although it's a bit more limited because we don't have choirs and musical instruments, especially now during Sfirat HaOmer, but we've asked Yudi to sing for us a special prayer of Misha Berach L'Chayalim, that we should all give a moment and pray for a moment and daven for a moment, that Hashem should make sure that our soldiers remain safe and healthy. So Yudi, you are unmuted, and on behalf of all of us, we ask you to give a prayer and a tefillah while we all focus on Israel and the Chayalim, our IDF soldiers.
Avraham, Yitzchak, veYaakov, uyevarech et chayalei tzva Yisrael, העומדים על משמר ארצנו. ואלוהינו מגבול הלבנון ויד מדבר מצרים ומן הים הגדול עד לבוא ויבשה באוויר ובים ויברך את חיילי צבא ההגנה לישראל. הקדוש ברוך הוא ישמור ויציל את חיילינו מכל צרה וצוקה ומכל נגע ומחלה. וישלח ברכה והצלחה בכל מעשה ידיהם, ידבר שונאינו תחתיהם, ויעטרם בכסר ישועה ובעטרת ניצחון, ויקוים בהם הכתוב, כי אדוני אלוהיכם ההולך עמכם להילחם לכם עם אויביכם, להושיע אתכם ונאמר
Amen. Amen. So thank you very much, Yudi. Beautiful. Thank you very much. Chemi's with us. Aviv, I'm not sure if she met. We'll see if she comes back on. I'd like to do some Q&A here, some questions, and maybe Chemi can enlighten us. Last time we opened up the program. I'm going to try and you can unmute yourself if you have a question, or else you can post a question into the comments. Okay, and that way it may be easier for you to communicate. But we got a few minutes here, so if you want to unmute yourself and ask a question for Chemi, I'm sure he'd be very happy to answer. Go ahead. Just give it a moment.
I will be more than happy to answer, guys.
Okay, so either in person on voice or in the chat box at the bottom, you're more than welcome to post your question. I have one question about that episode that you were injured in, Chemi, and maybe I'll start. Aviv is here. Okay, Aviv is back on, so we'll unmute you, Aviv, as well, so that way either one of you can answer. But I'll start with the question of the episode that you were involved in. Were their lives lost during that particular episode where you were injured in?
Yeah, one life loss. Not from my units. One of my guys that come to to give us a shelter when we go to the vehicles and run away, because we had someone that we captured, and we had to get information about all the plan they have. So Kfir, it's another unit in the army, went inside, to deal with everything we left behind us. And one of the guys, unfortunately, lost their life in this fight.
I can imagine that both for you and Aviv, you both mentioned how the fact that these soldiers, your brothers and sisters, who didn't survive, who passed on during their service, they obviously stay with you every day of your lives.
That's it, true. Yeah. Look, it's not just one person. Every day in Israel, every second on the TV that you watch the news, you can hear about like another soldier, 18, 19 years old, that lost their life because they are trying to protect the Jewish nation. So look, it's not just your friend, it's just not your family. Everyone risks their life, and even though you don't know the person that died right now, you will be connected to him. You will feel like sad about what happened because you feel it's part of you. So yeah.
As Chazal, as our sages teach us, Kol Yisrael Arevim Zeh Bazeh, the entire nation is intertwined. We feel with you and Aviv that we know you already for a long time. But that's
well, I really want to come to visit in Johannesburg. I think we should send one of the group of Belev Echad there.
I'll join.
So Aviv is already on that troop. The truth is that we have been speaking to Rav Uriel about bringing a group to South Africa. Please God, the COVID-19, the coronavirus settles, and we can move on. And please God, host you here. We have a question here actually that was posted to me personally, and I'll share it. Aviv shared the journey of rehabilitation. So the question is to Chemi, how long were you in hospital for, and what was the rehabilitation like following that?
So my injured was my lungs. My lungs collapsed, totally collapsed. And the first thing that I hear when I woke up in the hospital, they want to remove my lungs and to put like a machine instead. Thanks God, one of the best doctor in Israel found a solution for me and give me like a new steroid that actually can recover the lungs. It's a long way. So far, I'm okay, but I'm not like 100%. And the rehabilitation in the hospital took me 2 months. And also, it's not over there. You have to come back every day to check, to visit doctors, to work every day. A lot of people say I cannot run away. I cannot run anymore. I cannot go to the gym. I cannot train anymore. So, my head is like different from others, I guess, because all the stuff I've been through there. But I improve everyone and myself that I can do that. And today, thanks God, sport is big part of my life. And there's no day that I cannot go to the gym or cannot run outside or to do whatever I can just to prove myself and to show them that they're wrong. And it's a message for all of you guys. If you want to do something, fight for that and do the best you can.
You guys are walking miracles, the two of you, literally walking miracles.
Yeah.
Aviv, you mentioned, Aviv, that you're on the forefront of the coronavirus response in Israel. Can you describe a little bit of what's involved in that?
Yes, in Israel, an extreme situation. The army takes charge after, of course, the government gives them the opportunity. Basically, what we're doing is we're in charge of is it food, if it's hotels, like everybody who is sick or has to be isolated because he was exposed to somebody who is sick, they go to special hotels. So we're in charge of those hotels to get them there, to bring them there. About hotels, we're in charge of like, you know, giving out food. There are like special places where I people who are elderly and you know, they're in more danger going out, so we go and give them food. You know, it's a very, it's a lot of like different, you know, different units. They're doing like their efforts, like all of the doctors and nurses have been helping out in hospitals and getting people checked for coronavirus. We're starting to like see things ease up here. We hope it won't, you know, it won't happen again, but it's been amazing. You know, I've got the opportunity not to sit at home, but to actually, you know, do something, and not everybody has that opportunity. But sometimes, you know, sitting at home is what we need to do. So I was very glad to have that opportunity, and I feel, you know, I feel like I contributed something, which is like the best I can ask for. So
I can see that's your driving motivation, is to contribute and give. But the questions come through here. How did Aviv find the mental, psychological strength to go back to the army after your experience?
So I can say, first of all, it was hard, and it was very, very long. From the moment I got hurt till the moment I came back to the army, it was 8 months. And besides the intense physical therapy, I went through intense like mental, you know, mental treatments. I will say that part of the fact that it took me a lot of time to remember that day and those moments. I did not have trauma from uniform or stuff like that some people have after those events. So on that part, it was okay for me. And, you know, knowing that I have the chance to finish my officer course, that my friends don't have that chance anymore. Like they've lost, like they will never finish that course, and I still can finish it. And after, you know, what El's mom said, you know, from me, it wasn't even about me. It was like, you have the chance, you have to take it and use it.
Amazing. Beautiful. We obviously, people are sending through thank you messages and how both of you are amazing and an inspiration to us all. I personally want to thank you for coming and giving us some time. It's not easy opening up and sharing your own personal story, and the fact that you have given of your time and your personal story is very moving. So I thank you both for joining. I see Myron. Myron, are you going to ask a question yet?
Yeah, please. Hi, I'm Myron from Cape Town. Just want to find out, our son made Aliyah last year, and he was drafted into the army 5 days ago as a lone soldier. We are extremely proud of him here. We are 100% behind his decision. Just as parents, you know, just wanting maybe a little bit of reassurance what he's probably going to go through over the next few years of his army life. How can you
answer about that?
Sitting so far away, you know? How, yeah?
I can answer you if
it's difficult.
It's okay.
Go ahead, Chemi.
Darren, you can hear me?
Yes.
First of all, thank you so much that you allowed your son to do this step. Second, you will get a new son, actually a new person, not a kid anymore, not the same person that you remember. You will get a different guy, and you will thanks for that. I promise you that no one that going there like go out like in the same way. Third, actually, I really wish that you will be able to come to Israel to visit him in the base and see exactly what's going on and how they work there. I'm sure that he's doing the best as he can to give you the honor that you deserve and your family. So thank you so much that you agreed to send him there. It's not something that a lot of people will do. So I'm really appreciate that.
Thank you. Yes.
If I can just add, first of all, it's amazing, and as somebody who worked and is friends with a lot of lone soldiers, I know, like, it's tough, especially at the beginning and the course, the basic stakes. It's an amazing experience, and every commander and officer in the army, they know that the lone soldiers they're extra special because for us the service is mandatory, but for them they decided to get up and come and serve, and they're everybody takes such good care of them and they are positive.
Thank you. Yes. But reassured now. Yeah.
Thanks, Myron, for unmuting yourself. Well done. Anyone else want to unmute themselves and ask or engage personally with our special visitors, special guests here? You're more than welcome to.
Hi. Can you hear me?
We can hear you. We can hear you. We can't see you.
Okay. I haven't put my video on.
That's okay. That's okay.
My name's Andy Coleman. I'm ex-South African. I made Aliyah in 1984. Married, children, and it came the time when our son had to go into the army. And it was a hard experience, but just as Chemi was saying, it was an incredible experience to see this little boy really turning into not just, like you say, a man like bar mitzvah, but really the caring, the unit, the army. Everybody says, the BDS and everything that we're attacking, it really is an Israel Defense Force. And when they stand at the ceremony, this for me was the most moving thing. I mean, it was like 11 years ago. And they put their hand on the Tanakh and the rifle to swear to defend the country. It's just unbelievable, even if it's mandatory. And amongst the Olim Chadashim, the lone soldiers, our daughter was in charge of them at Mikveh, and she saw such incredible willingness to give. And I think that's how we're all connected, especially the South African community are so united and Zionistic in most parts. It's very, very encouraging. And I want to thank both Chemi and Aviv for their personal stories. There's so many. Everybody has a story. And when you see the person and they make it come alive, it's more important than just hearing about numbers. Thank you.
Thank you for sharing. Thank you for joining all the way from Israel.
It's a pleasure.
Now that we've opened up the channels of discussion, you're more than welcome to join us. Anyone else want to share?
My name is Chaim Lerman.
Go ahead, Chaim.
I'm an ex-African. And I'd just like to say shkach to Aviv and Chemi for the wonderful stories and everything. And Am Yisrael Chai doing a great job and everything. And kol hakavod. And I live in Yerushalayim.
In Yerushalayim. Great. So we got really an international Cape Town and Yerushalayim. Andy, are you from Ra'anana? Where you live from, Andy?
No, I wasn't a Ra'anana Fontaine. I'm in Kfar Adumim. It's a yishuv, dafka of religious, non-religious living together with amazing tolerance, which is rare in Israel.
Beautiful.
And we've got the privilege of 3 children, 2 married and 7 amazing grandchildren. And they all thank us every day. My husband's originally from America, for making Aliyah so they could be here. They're so connected. It's incredible.
We look forward to joining you there very soon. Make sure you start preparing the roads for us and the houses for us. We want to join you.
Trust me, my 2 sisters every day, closer and closer. I don't know if you know Jody and Stephen Fisher.
The name rings a bell.
Anyway, they go to Sunny Road and
Sure.
so We're trying.
I'm sure many people on the group know them. Okay, so we're gonna wrap up the program with Rabbi Goldman to conclude and to give a warm thank you and conclusion to our visitors. So I'm gonna ask Rabbi Goldman to unmute yourself and take it away.
I have unmuted myself. Can you hear me? Okay, so Yeshkech Rabbi Stern for organizing such a wonderful, uplifting, inspirational evening. And Rabbi Vigler in New York, thank you. And to Aviv and Chemi, we salute your bravery, your courage, your strength, your determination. You are heroes of Israel, of the Jewish people, and of all of us. So I want to end with what we began at the very beginning this evening, with that video of the Nechei Tzahal, the Mitsuyanim, who came to the Rebbe back in 1976. I read an article that was written by one of the soldiers who was there, and his name is Yosef Kabiliv. And he writes, I think it was in Yediot Achronot when he wrote this article many years ago, how he was on patrol in the Golan Heights, and they went over an old Syrian landmine, unfortunately. And he woke up in the Rambam hospital in Haifa. When he came to, he discovered that they had to tragically amputate both his legs. And for a long time, he was angry and bitter and could not find peace. His mother would come visit and cry. His father couldn't speak. Friends came and left, and he just was not finding comfort and strength to move on in life. And then he was part of that group that came to New York. And he writes how the Rebbe, after speaking to them and saying that they shouldn't be called the wounded, they should be called the Mitsuyanim, those who excel, the Rebbe came down from the podium and went around to each and every single chayal, and many in wheelchairs. And he went to each one and clasped their hand and gave them $1 for tzedakah. And to each one he said something personal, something different to each one. And to this Yosef, he said 2 words, looked them in the eye with tremendous empathy. And he said 2 words, Toda Rabah, thank you. And this Yosef wrote that those 2 words and the empathy and the facial expression of the Rebbe when he clasped his hands changed his whole Mahalech HaMachshava, his whole way of thinking. And suddenly all the bitterness dissipated. And he was able to rebuild his life, and he became a successful property developer in Israel. So I thought that was quite an inspirational story that I read on this theme. And so to you, Aviv and Chemi, we say those words, Toda Rabah. What else can we say? You've gone beyond the limits, beyond the call of duty. May HaKadosh Baruch Hu repay your bravery, your courage, your faith, your sacrifice for your people and our land with all the brachot that you wish for yourself. And may you go forward in life with simcha, with nachat, with beautiful families of your own, please God. And we look forward to meeting you in person one day and hearing only bsorot tovot, only good news from both of you. God bless you all. Toda Rabah.
Amen. And one more big mazel tov to Chemi and your engagement. Please God, the wedding should be b'sha'ah tova u'mutzlachat.
Bezrat Hashem.
Okay, that concludes the program. Thank you, Rabbi Goldman. Thank you, Chemi and Aviv. Thank you, Yudi, for your beautiful chazanut. Thank you, Rabbi Vigler, for joining us here tonight and for your amazing program. We wish you a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you.